Oh, how are we doing, YouTube, Twitch, Kick? How is everybody today? We are going to talk about something a little bit different on today's live stream. I decided to go ahead and pick some TikToks about the Gypsy Rose motherfucking Blanchard, because she is a piece of work. If you don't know, she lied about everything, okay? And we need to expose the truth, right? So I'm going to do my makeup while we watch some Gypsy Rose TikToks, and, well, you'll see. Bitch. Okay, let's get to it.
I just think it's so funny how GYPSY can go get her haircut and make a whole video of her revealing the final look outside of the hair salon, and they just love that for her. They did this for her, but I'm exposing EF mommy, and my hairdresser didn't want to have me as a client anymore because she said I was bad for business. And I would say, like, that's bad for business. Yeah, and
Right.
Shout out to Lottie. Go follow her because GYPSY deleted this video. So we're all working together to expose her. It's global, but apparently not in Marion, Iowa. The salon that I went to supports these types of people.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up when the salon you go to tells you that you're more of a problem than Gypsy fucking Rose Blanchard. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, hang on. Let me get to the comments here. All right.
Oh, honey, I am so not
Gypsy Rose Blanchard's main page is gone. New account, trying to get my old account back. Right now, this is going on. It's only got 619. Gypsy Rose Blanchard, my dear, as Harley Quinn, Nicholas Godejohn, September 20th, 2014. A year before the crime.
This is a message for my perfect, brilliant, mediocre, truly perfect, what else? I'd say you're perfect. And if I know you,
that sound, whatever it is, I don't like it. Oh, it's my phone.
Pulling from a crazy bitch. I stuck to my guns.
So
that's
funny.
What made me rich. That's what put me on. That's what got me here. That's what made me this. And everything that I do is my first name. These hoes chase bread. Aw, damn, she got a bird brain. Ain't nothing but trilling me. Aw, man, silly me. I just bought a crib, 3 stories. That bitch a trilogy. And you know I'm rolling weed that's fucking up the ozone. I got a bitch that texts me. She ain't got no clothes on. And then another one text me your ass next. And I'ma text your ass back like I don't fuck with you. You little stupid ass bitch, I ain't fucking with you. You little dumb ass bitch, I ain't fucking with you. I got a million trillion things I'd rather fucking do than to be fucking with you. Little stupid ass, I don't give a fuck. Wake up celebrating shit. Why? Cause I just dodged the bullet.
Allegedly, and a word on the TikTok street. Ken left GYPSY, and that's why she's crashing out, and all of her accounts are gone, and Ken's are gone.
So,
and I mean, my only question
did her
is,
account get banned, or did she delete them? Because that other video is claiming that her account must have got banned, and then she had to create a new account and say that her original account will be back soon. I mean, because it does get reported quite often. So I don't know.
Did he use the Trump accent voice when he broke up with her? Like, what was that all like? What did it sound like? Did it sound like Trump and Minnie Mouse having a huge dispute?
Hi,
like,
Katie Lane.
Maybe Dream.
The list of
This is she annoyed the shit out of Nick too. Watch
you
this.
constantly needing this reassurance about me marrying you and all the rest of this shit. It should be final by now in your head. He's gonna do it. He's gonna marry me. I don't have to think about it anymore.
Stop asking me if I'm gonna marry you, bitch.
He's just timing things as it needs to be timed. So this way there's no disaster that ever happens, because that's one of the most important parts of our life, is that day we get married. That's one of the most important parts of our life. I'm gonna turn on the light. I should take a sip of something before I do this. And then I'm gonna go off there. I am going to go off.
Someone says in the comments, yeah. Ken left her, so she got back with Nick and deactivated her page. Shut up. That's my daddy Brazy. That's too funny.
Sweetheart, I mentioned about me staying online for 7 damn hours straight. I'll mention that I took practically a full night all the way into 4 o'clock in the morning to make, what was it, 3 videos for you? Remember that? I wouldn't want to do that either if I wasn't so serious about marrying you. Right. So yes, dear, stop with the ridiculousness. Seriously, stop with it. As you can tell, my voice tone changed into a very serious one. Stop the crap.
Nick is serious.
You know I want to marry you. I know I could never leave you. I know you could never leave me. I know that possibility is out of the possibility list. It's not a possibility anymore. It's an impossibility instead. But that don't mean it could change to where I wouldn't want to marry you if you push me too far away or you pressure me too much. But after you and me talked about that yesterday, you actually admitted, yeah, maybe that is a good idea. And then after you said that, I'm like, she's really coming into her own with what I actually am telling her. She's actually listening to me. When I gotta repeat myself like this, and you know it's a pet peeve of mine. You know it's a pet peeve of mine. I can understand if you need to be reassured about something, but
he said, knock it off, bitch.
Anderson Blanchard has deleted her TikTok account, both of them.
Let's see what Audrey's got to say about
this.
So
has her forever baby daddy. And there are a lot of people speculating, why did she do this? Could it possibly be because she got heat for this? You know, doing the TikTok battle and not even bothering to show up? The same TikTok battle that she told Kel Rocky she couldn't attend because of a sore throat. But then she came live on here and told us,
a sore throat, huh? Who you been gobbling down, Gypsy? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I just couldn't do it because I had a really bad headache and vertigo while blasting music on the live.
Right.
Other people are speculating that she's in withdrawal. I want to know your thoughts. Like, what do you think is happening? Additionally, I have really made people mad, and they once again are attacking my account, and that is okay. Life will go on, and you can always follow me on other platforms. I'm on the Book of Faces under Audacious Audrey 06, and I'm on the Tube also under Audacious Audrey 06. Gypsy Rose, I'll see.
Okay.
So I've been seeing a lot of people talk about Mia Blanchard, Gypsy Rose Blanchard's sister. This is Rod and Christy's daughter, and you guys may remember her from the Life After Lockup show, or also Mommy Dead and Dearest.
Yeah.
Because when she was a teenager, she participated in this. She chose to participate in this because, again, Dylan didn't participate in anything to do with Gypsy Rose Claudinia Blanchard. So I want you guys to remember.
There's nobody wanted to
remember when you guys see her and you guys love that Gypsy sees her as a threat and stuff like that. I want you guys to remember that her nursing, schooling, and everything that raised her from the time she was a teenager was all done by Dee Dee Blanchard. Why, you say? Because just like the Blanchards, Rod and Christy, how they want everybody to see Dee Dee in a form where she was grifting and stealing from organizations and doing this, that, and the third. They were actually planning to do it all along.
Right.
All along. And that's exactly what they're doing. You know how you hear when like people talk about bad things other people do and turn around and do them? That's exactly what Christy and Rod Blanchard did. There is actually no proof that Dee Dee Blanchard ever conned anyone.
Exactly.
Except there is proof she did sign some fraudulent checks that were
Before-
for less than $50 each, that were at a grocery store where she was trying to buy her daughter food as well as necessities to make sure that she was living a good life. Dee Dee never got anything out of it. Gypsy got everything.
That was also done before they got to Missouri. So those checks were written in Louisiana, and she did have warrants out for her arrest for writing those checks, but they were not warrants that would make Louisiana go and pick her up, basically. So they just kept the warrants in case she ever went back to Louisiana, but she never planned on it, and she stayed in Missouri, and she knew she was safe because they wouldn't extradite her. That's the word I was looking for. They wouldn't be able to extradite her if they tried to arrest her in Missouri. So it would make no sense. But yeah, she did write those checks in Louisiana to try and feed herself and Aurora and Gypsy Rose. Sorry about that.
Everything out of it. And she's admitted to lying about half of what she was telling her mom. But when you guys see Mia, there's no reason to like one sister over the other, because at the end of the day, Mia was raised by Christy Blanchard, because we know Rod Blanchard was rarely around because he was on the boat and didn't really raise any of his kids. So he's considered the fun dad. And even though she may seem like she has a straight head on to not deal with Gypsy Rose Blanchard, remember, she took the blood money just as fast as all the other people in this story.
She did.
The more you know.
But she was young.
So I've been seeing a lot of.
So I don't really hold it.
Gypsy Rose did an interview probably about a year or so ago that I have not seen up until like a week or two ago. And I'm sure some of you may or may not have seen it, but I want to go over this interview because Gypsy is crazy and she is just straight lying in this interview. It's a British interview. I guess I don't know where it aired. I'm not sure, but I want to share it with you. So.
In 2016, Gypsy Rose Blanchard was jailed for the murder of her mother, Dee Dee Blanchard. Growing up, Gypsy had been made to believe she was disabled and terminally ill, undergoing a number of...
And of course, they had to include this part, as all news sources and interviews do, that interview with Gypsy.
Mum suffered from Munchausen by proxy syndrome and had devoted herself to caring for Gypsy, telling the world she had leukemia and required a feeding tube. In 2015, Gypsy and her then boyfriend plotted to kill her mother.
Now, this next part just really gets me.
You had so many medical procedures. You spent 24 years of your life in and out of hospitals. How did your mother get the medics to believe how sick you were in order to actually...
Now let's hear what Miss Gypsy Rose has to say about that.
She had a very convincing personality. So a lot of times she would kind of sweet talk the doctors and appear very concerned about my...
You're not going to get a surgery done because your mom sweet talks the doctors. You were on Medicaid, Gypsy Rose. Do you know how hard it is to get a fucking surgery approved through Medicaid? And you're going to sit here and tell me that your mom was that good that she sweet talked a doctor into committing like an act of fraud, I guess. That's just insane. You are so stupid. I can't.
My health, and to the point that I don't think that anyone would question her intentions. She came across as a very loving and caring mother that just wanted her child to be taken care of. So I don't think anybody would.
You cannot just sweet talk a doctor. Like,
right.
What world does she think that we all live in? Because we are not stupid. Like, you cannot just have a Southern accent and sweet talk a doctor.
For real.
Do you know how hard it is to get insurance to approve anything? Especially Medicaid back then. That was like pre-Obamacare.
Right.
Hospitals, a lot of hospitals. I remember being very close with my mom. When I was little, my whole world was my mom, my stuffed animals, and my cat, and hospitals.
Yep.
So that is how I remember my childhood.
Gypsy, I've followed this story.
That's actually really funny, Gypsy, because from what it looks like, you had a great childhood. You had a better one than me. Like, I grew up poor as hell.
Right?
Like, girl, you went to Disney World like 4 or 5 times. Like, I've never been in my life. I can't even afford to take my own kids to Disney World. Like,
it's astonishing that doctors didn't sort of twig that quite early on. I mean, their
That's
job is
why,
to,
just like
to not listen to persuasive.
just like Quirky Love Rosie, I believe that being spoiled rotten causes these kind of behaviors. It causes a type of sociopathy because the entitlement with these people is extremely strong. Quirky Love Rosie has it, and GYPSY Rose Blanchard has it. And I believe that that's why she unalived her mom, was because her mom had certain beliefs and she wouldn't budge on them. And in order for GYPSY to do what she wanted to do and when she wanted to do it, she had to take her mom out of the equation because she was already 24 years old and still living under her mom. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you were the one acting cognitively delayed, so much so that your mother thought you needed to have a permanent guardian. You know what I mean?
People and to use their better judgment. But
what she said, isn't that astonishing? Because it doesn't happen. It doesn't work like that.
And they are looking at you and investigating and not finding anything. Were you actually suffering pain? I mean, I did read somewhere that your mum actually did inject drugs into you or make you take drugs so that it would sort of mimic the symptoms of some illnesses.
Y'all are going to love what GYPSY has to say next, because it never happened. That never happened. If you're watching this and you still believe GYPSY's story, the story about her mother putting rugs in her system or whatever is not true. It's false. Please do some research. Now let's hear what GYPSY has to say about it, because listen, she doesn't actually agree with the lady. Listen.
Of course. I mean, there were many times that I went through painful procedures, and when I had my teeth removed.
Why does she always bring up only the teeth thing? Like she always brings that up first. Like, okay, girl, you got your teeth out because they were rotting.
Thank you, Kimber. I appreciate you, dear. How are you? Thank you for the flower. I really appreciate it, honey. That means so much to me. I hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday. But see, GYPSY Rose Blanchard loves to bring up the teeth thing because it's really the only fucking large procedure she's ever had to go through that she has full-on memory of. So that's the only thing she's going to bring up. It's crazy to me how people haven't caught on to that. That's literally the only, like, I guess, traumatic, if you air quotes involved, traumatic. That's the only traumatic thing she's ever been through. How come you turned green? Did you become a member? Or all of a sudden your name is green? I don't know why. Weird. But I'm so grateful, Kimber. Thank you, dear.
Not because your mother talked them into it.
I was put on medication that caused to lead me to addiction. So, I mean,
yes, if she would just tell the truth and be accountable and be real about shit, people would be able to move on because this shit would make sense. We're always sitting here trying to put puzzle pieces together because she makes it all out to be this fucking what do you call it? Anyways, you know what I'm saying.
there's a lot of things that went into that. So there's no knowing if there is any long-term effects or not. So far, I'm healthy.
The long-term effect, GYPSY, is your microdeletion.
Exactly.
It was your microdeletion all along.
What, my love?
Anyways, that was like a 10-minute interview, and like
Kimber sent me flowers.
GYPSY just sounded like so delulu. And notice she kept saying She does that all the time, but she was doing it in the interview, and she was so like almost didn't know what to say. I feel like it was weird. It was a weird interaction with her responses. I don't know. Now, real quick before I let y'all go, I want to remind everybody that GYPSY and her family tried to sue doctors or tried to get a lawyer to sue the doctors for medical malpractice. She said it herself. It came out of her own mouth in an interview. Okay, there was no case. That is why no lawyer would touch it, GYPSY. Like. Think for once. Anyways, have a great night. If you haven't seen the interview, it's over there on YT, by the way. GYPSY Rose did an interview probably about a year or so ago that
Not supposed to do the nails first. I'm supposed to do the makeup first, not the nails first. Okay. Oh, damn. 1 year ago, we saw Aurora for the first time in the sonogram, and my heart, damn it. Sorry. I gotta wait till it goes away. Come on. Okay. And my heart has never been the same. She is my light, my joy, my greatest blessing. But today also marks 10 years since the death of my mother, a woman known not for love, but for the abuse she inflicted on me. The pain shaped my life in ways that led to tragic choices, consequences, and years we both can never get back. I won't pretend she was a good person, and I won't pretend I've been perfect either. But Aurora, she represents a new beginning, a chance to break every cycle, a chance to raise someone with love, truth, and freedom, a chance to give her a life better than what I had, and better than what my past choices. I may carry the past, but she carries my future, and I pray that who she becomes will be greater than who I was and greater than the woman who became before me. Gypsy Rose Blanchard, shut the fuck up. Whatever. Liar. And then Gypsy Rose deleted her social media until the emails came out. Gypsy and her fraudulent parents could lie and say everything we reported was false, but they are now exposed. There is no coming back from this. And this is from Without a Crystal Ball. And it says, told y'all Rod and Christy did this all for money. All of it. I told y'all they set up a trust and then put it in other people's names to avoid the son of Sam laws. These people are all frauds, all of them. And that's crazy because if you're trying to avoid the son of Sam law so that you can keep on with this fucking bullshit ass story about Dee Blanchard, I mean, that's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Why would you want to not be account or not be, what is it? Why can't I think of words? Kimber, thank you for the gold coin. Thank you, dear. I appreciate you so much. Oh. Now, her trying to avoid the son of Sam laws. I mean, isn't there something in place that could get them in trouble for trying to avoid it, the son of Sam laws? You know what I mean? I mean, that to me is just baffling how they can get away with that. But they get away with a lot over there as the Blanchards because they are the Blanchards. I know how it works down south too. When I lived in Mississippi, that's very much the way it was up in the hills that we lived in. There was like always a popularity contest, always one better than the other. If there was a newcomer like me, they all stared. They used to call me the Yankee, of course.
Gypsy, because she cannot keep up with her own lies. I tried to make 2 videos of recapping what was said in court, and a bunch of y'all are confused, so I guess I'm going to stop doing that. But I wanted to recap to show what was said in court. And I'm going to just go ahead and say it.
I'm so
she lied the whole entire time.
My medicine.
She lied about her age in the interview, saying she was 19. I'll show a clip of that.
And unfortunately, they messed up. All the time they messed up the paperwork, and it said 1991, but it's actually 95. Okay, and that puts you at how old then? I would be really 19, but on here it's my Medicaid. My medical insurance has 23. Okay.
So that was a video showing proof that she lied about her age in the investigation room where they were interviewing her. Well, in court, she confessed that
She's so
she
believable when
was
she lies.
23 on the day of this murder. That right there
Well,
shows you.
I'm sorry. Let me take that back. She can be very believable when she lies. Like in that situation, I believe she was really, really putting on the show. But there are a lot of other times that I'm just like, Gypsy, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't lie your fucking way out of a fucking hole.
She was lying multiple times.
Tell me. Do you want to talk to me about it? Tell me about it. Sure, okay. You planned this with him, okay? You didn't get locked in the bathroom, okay? I'm not stupid. First of all, the lock's on this side, so you can't get locked in her. Okay. You went in there because you brought that knife into the picture.
Yep.
You brought the idea into the picture.
I didn't bring the idea.
You did bring it into. You brought the whole thing in the idea.
No.
He did it for you.
No.
Yeah.
Once again, she said in the beginning that she did not plan it, that it was all Nick's fault. But then again, in court, she said, I did it. I planned it. It was me. I did it. So it's funny how she changes subjects 2 different times because one is the truth and one is not.
Right.
One being she did plan it, which is the truth. Okay. I know that for a fact.
Right.
And I know for a fact that Gypsy planned to get pregnant with Nick. And
Yep.
you can't tell me she didn't, because she did.
Oh, yeah.
And she planned the murder for a long time, like a whole year.
2
Like
years.
it's crazy. She knew what she was doing and she decided to do that. She could have gotten away and walked out. There was literally a video where Gypsy said she was sitting on the porch with Nick, and Nick said, let's walk away. And she was just like, no, I'm going to get up and, we need to finish what I need to do. And it's all a lie. Everything is a facade. She told.
Okay, and also I believe that she helped commit this crime. There is no doubt in my fucking mind, because when I studied blood splatter and then looking at the blood splatter and the crime scene photos, it just shows me that there was somebody that went around the other side of the bed and was stabbing with their right hands. And I'm sorry, but I believe that had to have been Gypsy Rose Blanchard, because if you look at her hands, you can tell just by that. But then I also want to know, why was Dee Dee's hands all bruised up around the wrist area and stuff and up into her palm? And then Gypsy Rose's hands were bruised. So was there like a struggle? I don't understand. Were you dragging her? Did you have like a rope around her wrist and you were dragging her somewhere into the bedroom so that you could say that she was? I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to say that this is crazy.
The court that she didn't want to get caught. That's why she was not going to go purchase the room. What do you mean you didn't want to get caught? You went to Walmart after this murder. You went to eat at Waffle House that literally was right by the house. You think people weren't going to see you, Gypsy? What a freaking liar. You did it. You thought people weren't going to see you in the train and other places in town? You thought you were just going to get away because some people don't get their case solved of missing people? You're such a freaking liar. You knew exactly what you were doing.
She thought
you spent your mom's money
she thought she was going to be able to play the missing girl. No one's going to find the Gypsy Rose Blanchard. That's what she thought was going to happen. And she also kind of had an idea that I guess she was going to get back to Missouri somehow and go be with her lover, Dan. But I don't see how that would be possible when Dan had a literal girlfriend and he had kids. He was older. Leave him alone, Gypsy. And like, what is you? Oh, I know why you love these kind of men. You got some daddy issues going on. Your daddy needs to come home and spend some time with you, and maybe you won't be so nuts. Oh, what am I saying? You will always be nuts. Never mind.
Stole from your unalived mom.
Right.
Gypsy couldn't tell the truth, even if she honestly.
Oh, this is funny.
But she is so. She's well aware of everything. She's well aware. I mean, she's even sat there and cross relays, and she goes, "Well, basic psychology." You know what I'm saying? Whenever we were speaking about, women with men who use us for our money, people who are in checks and stuff. Sure. And she, just basic psychology is this, and she like spit it out like it was
like nothing. Huh?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Okay. And it's like, she's not stupid. She said her mom homeschooled her, right? She's like, "Oh, I've only got a third grade level." Bullshit.
Right.
Yeah.
Who are you trying?
This is a girl that went to reveal how Gypsy Rose was acting while she was in prison with her.
I even interrogated her a little bit, because it was like, whenever we got into the fight, I got sick and tired of it. It was enough already, sure. Like, oh, this person's gonna go in between for me and I'm gonna write Nick and she's gonna send it. No. Yeah. You're not gonna use my friend.
No, absolutely.
And then she saw, like, she's not your friend. Okay, bitch, listen. To pull you off this bed. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, but she's sick, bro.
Why do you think that?
Because I'm just gonna tell you because it will. She told, it's embarrassing, but she was 4 years old. Okay?
Yeah.
She's fucking sexy.
That means that her microdeletion actually causes hypersexuality, which is not hypersexuality, but hyper like I don't know how to explain it. What word I'm looking for, but like I seem to be missing words today because I took my medicine and it's making me sleepy. So I won't even lie to you. But she was very hypersexual is what I'm trying to say. And it stems from the symptoms from the 1Q21.1 microdeletion. I mean,
Speed the hell out. I mean, bad.
Right.
And the only thing she's just never gotten emotional about her mom. Not one time has she cried about her mom.
Not one time did she cry about her mom. Not one time. She feels no remorse. What does that tell you about Gypsy Rose? It tells me that she's a sociopath, big time. She had no feelings at all about what she did to her mother. I mean, that's insanity to me.
She's cried one time and it's been over Nick. And that's it.
Like, because he's in jail, arrested, or what?
Because she loves him.
Gotcha. Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about? Why aren't you crying about your mom, bro?
Exactly.
And
crying about Nick, but not crying about her mother. The woman who raised her, the woman that took good care of her, the woman that never abused her. Abuse was only brought up by the prosecution or by the defense against the prosecution. Okay? That's it. That was a defense in court to try to guilt trip the fucking 12 jurors if they needed to do so.
it's either she talks about Nick or she just constantly talks about sex.
Right.
I mean, even talking about Mike Stanfield, our lawyer.
Oh my God. Yeah. She even talked about sex with Mike Stanfield. I believe, okay. Now, don't get upset with me for this take, all right? It's my thoughts, my opinion, all right? I have come to learn some information about Mr. Mike Stanfield that leads me to believe that he may have had some weird attraction to Miss Gypsy Rose Blanchard. And I say this because he had been counsel to this guy named Richard, right? And Richard was a big part of VisionCon at one time, but he was being charged with several counts of sexual assault. Now, Gypsy Rose and this Richard guy had a thing, you know, or whatever they were doing was the nasty doody hoo-ha, all right? That's what they was doing, I think. And he liked the fact that she could portray herself as younger, right? So that he could actually have the experience of both worlds. And that's so disgusting, but true. And I believe that Mike Stanfield had an interest because of that same reason and decided to pursue Gypsy Rose. And I believe that they boinked, if you will. And then, well, I actually said other words. I might as well not even censor myself, to be honest with you. But she, I believe, was sleeping with her attorney, Mike Stanfield. And then all of a sudden, something must have happened because she fired him. He was her manager for a little bit. She fired him for who knows what. I don't know, you know. And we are always speculating about what caused this whole mess between them for her to do that. And I don't believe we're ever going to find that out, honestly. I don't believe we're ever going to find the truth out about that.
Like, what the fuck, you know? I'm telling you,
Sure.
it's terrible.
We're all adults here, so that's fine.
I know, but it's kind of like,
but yeah, that's over excessive, I'm sure. So
you think? Like, get the fuck away from me, you know? The way she moves and all this other crap. She's sick, man.
Yeah.
She's not right. And I think she's going to get away with it if we don't do something about it. Unstable.
Sure.
But she is so fucking smart. It's crazy.
At the end there, she says, she's sick, man, and y'all need to do something about it. Did they? Did they do anything about it? No, they didn't. They said, be free, sick bitch. Be free to roam the world and
Gypsy couldn't tell the truth, even
shitty things to other people.
if
Please,
she
by all
honestly
means.
wanted.
Unstable.
Sure.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard's ex-best friend and prison mate, Rachel Garlick, is spilling more tea. Now, if you don't know who Rachel is, I will tag her down below. Shortly after Gypsy's release, Rachel started speaking out after Gypsy basically used her and then tossed her to the side after she got out. Rachel just posted a new video about how Gypsy lied to Kim Kardashian when she met up with her. Let's watch.
Somebody sent me.
I figured that whole time she lied. That's why Kim Kardashian never ended up contacting Gypsy Rose ever again, because of that fact that she knew that she was lying.
A clip of Gypsy talking to Kim Kardashian, and this is for you, Kim. Gypsy lied straight to your face. Straight to your face. Because all you got to do is fly a kite and you can go to...
Oh, no.
Unstable.
Sure.
Sorry.
But she is.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard's ex-best friend and prison mate, Rachel Garlick, is
Gypsy talking to Kim Kardashian, and this is for you, Kim. Gypsy lied straight to your face. Straight to your face. Because all you got to do is fly a kite and you can go to mental health. I did it, and just for being afraid of mustard. She told me she did not need help. That she's fine. That's not true at all. You can get help in prison, and especially the prison that we went to, because I'm doing good. I took prison for what it was, and I did good. It teaches you stability.
Yeah.
She even got in trouble for tricking men while she was there.
Now, if you missed what had happened before, I do have a separate YT video going over all of that, and Rachel has some videos on her page. Gypsy Rose Blanchard's ex-best friend and prison mate, Rachel Garlick.
What does it look like a 13-year-old? I'm wearing like a Hello
And this is her. Look at her. Look at her. She at her big age here, acting as if she is a child. Totally what do they call it? Age regression. Right here, exactly to a T.
But anyway,
He was like 21 here.
Like I was saying
Or
before,
something like-
I have so many reasons to love and adore you.
Maybe
and
even
I find
23.
that
I don't
you are
remember how old she was. Yeah, but she was in her
intriguing, and I don't
20s.
know what I'd ever do without you. Like I said before I met you, I only went on the dating site to kind of see what was out there. I wasn't actually expecting to find my soulmate. Before I met you, I had plans to become a nun, and
Sure.
I didn't really know if that's what I wanted to do with my life, or if I wanted to see if I could find my soulmate. So I took a chance, and I met the most wonderful man I've ever known. I'm just so happy that we're together. Arguments, but we've made it through with flying colors, and I've come to love and adore every part of you, and I know that you love and adore every part of me. And I'm happy that we can be honest with each other and tell each other anything, and we don't have to worry about keeping up appearances or whatever. You'll always be my handsome prince, and I know that I will always be your beautiful princess. I think that our future together will be bright and happy, and I think that together we can plan this out so perfectly, so whenever we meet, it all just falls into place. And I know that things are really, really difficult because I have a very strict mom, and if she knew anything about this, I'd be in so much trouble. I'd probably go to jail, and you too, because technically I'm underage, but I'd get in trouble because I've lied so much, and I've promised her that I wouldn't lie, but because I love and adore you so much, I'm willing to take that risk. And I swore I made a vow to protect both of us so we won't get in any trouble. So by the time we meet, I'll be like 21, so I won't get in any trouble.
So Gypsy is basically saying that she knows her age and that she is gonna get in trouble for lying so much. So this whole entire time, she's like, oh, I'm dressed like a 13-year-old. All of this stuff is manipulation on Nick to think that she is forced to do this, and she is not. She is not forced. She is dressing like she wants to dress. She is lying about her age because she wants to lie about it.
Yeah.
She spit on that man and told her mama, I don't want you to be with him. I want my daddy back. What else Gypsy Rose did at 6? She had a surgery that caused paralysis.
Oh my God.
At the time, they didn't know if it was going to be temporary. They didn't know if it was permanent. When tingling and stuff
Pounding
came back
headache.
in
I need to
Gypsy
go
Rose's
take
legs,
something real
she
quick.
did not tell her mom.
Be right
She didn't
back.
tell her mom until 2011 when she ran away with that 36-year-old man when she was 19. Didn't she tell her mom? Oh, for fear she wouldn't love me. Didn't she tell anybody the truth? Oh, because I'd lose a lot of friends. That's what she says right here in that email to Nick. She tells people shit like, I was never allowed to move my legs. My mama only let me use the feeding tube. Multiple pictures of her with her legs bent. Look, there's juice in her fucking lap. Oh, and there's some friends hugged up on her that she's not allowed to have. There's multiple pictures like that where she's out and about, legs bended, got a drink in her hand, people hugged up on her. What about this little picture here? Gypsy's 23 years old. It's in Springfield. She's out of her wheelchair, legs bent, sitting up on in a fucking windowsill. Gypsy's story has evolved as she became famous. In the beginning, she was saying shit like, at that point, Gypsy said she had enough. She didn't hate her mother, but wanted her dead. Didn't hate my mom, but I wanted her dead. It was not because I hated her. It was because I wanted to escape her. There was no mention of any kind of fucking medical abuse until Gypsy started getting big. Even one of the first doctors, Dr. Ross, to comment on Gypsy Rose's whole, am I Munchausen by proxy victim shit? and said, for one, usually the victim, usually a child, isn't aware of the deception. Gypsy was very much fucking aware. Why? Because she was the one lying on the fucking test. Doctors documented Gypsy as reporting child reports having no feeling below the pelvic area, but reacts to light touch. I've never claimed that Dee Dee was perfect, but we're not going to sit here and act like Gypsy wasn't heavily involved. She was 14 when she left Louisiana, 4 years away from her 18th birthday. For 14 years, she lived around Rod, Christy, her brother, sister, grandpa, mama. The way she wouldn't have known her age is if all of her family was keeping it from her. She'd been 18 4 years after she left there. You're going to tell me Dee Dee brainwashed her in 4 years? She didn't have a developmental delay? I know, I'm just saying, this ain't all alleged. That's her shit, but this is for entertainment purposes only, and she did that shit. No shade, no tea. I'm just saying, she is manipulating y'all. GYPSY Rose was controlling. Did you know her mom tried to date when Gypsy was 6, and she spit on that man and told her mama, I don't want you to be with him. I want my daddy back. What else GYPSY Rose did at 6? She had a surgery that caused paralysis. At the time, they didn't know if it was going to be temporary. They didn't know if it was permanent. When tingling and stuff came back in GYPSY Rose's legs, she did not tell her mom. Matter of fact, she didn't tell her mom until 2011 when she ran away with that 36-year-old man when she was 19. Didn't she tell her mom? Oh, for fear she wouldn't love me. Didn't she tell anybody the truth? Oh, because I'd lose a lot of friends. That's what she says right here in that email to Nick. She tells people shit like, I was never allowed to move my legs. My mama only let me use the feeding tube. Multiple pictures of her with her legs bent. Look, there's juice in her fucking lap. Oh, and there's some friends hugged up on her that she's not allowed to have. There's multiple pictures like that where she's out and about, legs bended, got a drink in her hand, people hugged up on her. What about this little picture here? Gypsy's 23 years old. It's in Springfield. She's out of her wheelchair, legs bent, sitting up on them in a windowsill. Gypsy's story has evolved as she became famous. In the beginning, she was saying shit like, at that point,
Damn. Gypsy
Con were arrested. This lady right here is one of the cab drivers that picked him up. Let's listen to what the hell she had to say.
A couple, a man, I'd say about 5'10", sandy brown hair, jeans, deceitful kind of looking, walked up to me, and a woman, little bitty woman, like 4'5" woman. Okay. You know? But the odd was she had on this old, cheap Farrah Fawcett wig. Okay. And at first, sunglasses. I think they were sunglasses. But it just was really odd because she looked like an itty-bitty girl in this old wig with an overcoat on, and it was hot. Right. And they walked up and they said, was I free? And I called in dispatch and said I had to walk up at Greyhound. And I said, yeah. So they didn't have much luggage. And he got in the cab, he said he wanted to go back to Daisy, and he had a room there. Okay. Had a room there, but they were trying to get tickets together to ride a bus. And I asked him, I said, are you her father? He goes, no, I'm her brother. And then the little girl hadn't said much, and I looked at her and I said, how old are you? And in this little bitty, almost like childish voice, she said, I'm 14. 14? That's what she said. And I'm looking and I'm thinking, this is odd. Yeah. You know, I've gathered up between some odd things, but what is a 14-year-old running around in a cheap black wig? Right. In a black overcoat, covered up like this. Right. It's 80-something, 90 degrees outside. With a man, obviously, probably, I want to say 27, I'm old enough now, it's hard to judge, 27 to 30, maybe 24 to 30, in that age. Yeah. And it just was odd. Well, I came back and I told my daughter she was leaving to go back home to Norfolk. Her husband's in the Air Force. And she said, Mom, you're just imagining things. You just imagine. I said, something's wrong there, Kitty. Something ain't right. He put me in the alcove. He didn't drive to the side over on Norton. And then him and the little girl walked off. And I thought, little girl. That ain't right. I don't think that's it. I don't know. Right.
Now, what day did you say this was?
I'm pretty sure it was Saturday.
Saturday.
I'd have to look at I work Saturday and Sunday, so.
What time of day do you think it was?
Mid-afternoon.
Mid-afternoon.
Well, I can get the exact time from my trip sheets if you need it, but it would have to, I had called the office and told them I had to walk up. I can't remember if I told my daughter on the phone or it was a big blur because she did leave and I had to take my grandbaby and everything. And I don't have my sheet to look at the exact time. They have it. But I know it's that little girl.
And that's the one you said you saw on the news?
Well, I didn't see the news, just a picture of her on Facebook.
Okay, you saw a picture of her on
Facebook.
And
what hit me is I put the black wig on her and it's the bite. It was just...
Right.
It's a definite tooth thing different. Yeah. The black wig through because again you got this great big black wig on this itty bitty little girl. Right. And I'm like, you're old enough to be with that man, and he didn't act like a brother. Right. There was something odd about him. He didn't want to answer any questions, and she was real, like, itty bitty. As I said, the voice is just like that of a little bitty girl. And when she said 14, I couldn't even believe that.
Okay.
You know?
Now, you said that you had someone you were taking to the Greyhound station.
Mm-hmm.
And then they came out. Did they come out like the front doors or a different way?
They were standing over around on the side.
On the
side of the door, the main door. Okay. Just over to the side where those
so
trash cans were.
Pretty close to the main doors there.
They had just came out and he couldn't get tickets together, and that's what I thought. If they're traveling together, why didn't you have tickets together? Why? I mean, and he said he couldn't get 2 tickets for him to be on the same bus. Well, if you're traveling together, sure, you would have got tickets for the same bus.
Right. And so you picked him up there and
took him to the Days Inn, right? I didn't go underneath the alcove. He wanted to stop right there before the breezeway.
Oh, what's the Days Inn? And he said he'd had a room there at the Days Inn.
He did, yeah.
What was their conversation like while they were in the cab?
They did not have one. They were sitting in the back seat, and I kept looking I looked in my mirror, and that's why I asked her how old she was. There was no way that a little girl that way would be dressed like that on her own.
How was she acting around him? Was she acting like?
She wasn't acting like. She wasn't saying anything. He hushed her.
Okay.
When she said, "I'm 14," he hushed her.
Okay.
Isn't it interesting that Gypsy Rose wanted this cab driver to believe that she was just some young 14-year-old girl instead of saying, no, I'm 21. This is my boyfriend. Comes, kills her mom, and they get in a cab. And she's like, no, I'm 14. Why would she do that? Kind of makes you wonder, was she trying to make this lady suspicious? Very odd behavior, I'm just saying. But let me know what y'all think of this little interview. Janice was on to it as soon as they got in the cab. She knew they were with the shits. I think it's very telling that without Dee Dee around, though, Gypsy was telling other people already, oh, I'm 14, and still doing her little micro voice, I'm a baby. That's just my opinion for entertainment purposes only, honey. But this is not all Lish. You heard Janice. She's an oddball. She get the shit. Police interviews are from right after Gypsy Rose and Nicholas Godejohn were arrested. This lady right here is one of the cab drivers that picked them up. Let's listen to what the hell she had to say.
A couple, a man, I'd say about 5'10", sandy brown hair, jeans, deceitful kind of looking, walked up to me, and a woman, little bitty woman, like 4'5" woman.
Okay.
You know. But the odd was she had on this old, cheap Farrah Fawcett wig.
Okay.
And at first, sunglasses. I think they were sunglasses. But it just was really odd because she looked like an itty bitty girl in this old wig with an overcoat on, and it was hot.
Right.
And they walked up and they said, was I free? And I called in dispatch and said I had to walk up at Greyhound. And I said, yeah. So they didn't have my
Sorry,
tickets.
guys.
And as he got in the cab, he said he wanted to go back to the Days Inn. He had a
Our own words, and I can't even count the amount of lies that are in this one. But this is all about the Dan Glidewell situation, and you could just take a listen for yourself, and you can choose whatever story you want to believe or not believe any of it. The choice is yours. Here she is, in her own words, once again.
I trusted him a little bit, enough to run away from home. He didn't have a place of his own, so he was staying with a friend. Those friends knew my mom. They called my mom, and my mom came to get me. That night,
Didn't know your mom.
mother
I thought you were underage.
had awoken probably about 4 o'clock in the morning. Noticed that I wasn't there. She then goes to look around the house, and my cell phone fell out of my backpack. So she sees the messages between me and Dan, and she instantly knows who I'm with. Then she begins to call their mutual friends from the convention, and one of them told my mother where I was. And there she was able to come and find me.
And y'all just hung out in the hospital?
Yeah, well, he was released within 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And so his cousin was there with him. And
right.
So his cousin had drove us back to the friend's house that he was staying at.
Okay. And they also didn't know who you were? Like what your story was?
Asleep when we got there. It wasn't until the morning where the man, the husband, comes in the room and asks me my name. And
Yeah, that's what I'm
stupid as
going to be
all I
doing.
can
I'm
be,
coming over to your
I'm
house
like,
and I'll
Gypsy,
just
I'm
prop
Dan's
my legs
girlfriend.
up on the chair when I'm there.
so
That's okay.
stupid.
Yeah. And then
And
then he's like, your mom's
yeah,
here.
breakfast
Yeah,
for
an
dinner
hour
sounds
later, your
wonderful.
mom's here.
I
I
would
get a text
actually
from
really
him
love
that
some
he's in the
French
hospital.
toast. Could I have
That
that?
he wants me to
instead
join him in the
of
hospital. He wants
pancakes?
someone to be
'Cause
there
I
with
don't really
him.
like pancakes
He
too
got beat up.
much. But Chris
So I
does
pack a
make really
bag,
good pancakes.
and in the middle of the night, I get out of my mom's bed, pack a bag, go out the front door, hitchhike, meet him at the
I'm
hospital.
coming over today. I don't care how I feel. I
And
don't care if my
so
legs are swollen
we
so
go to
bad I
his
can't
friends.
walk.
They realize that I'm there, and they recognize me from the convention. And they realize this girl is 15 years old. So they got in contact with a mutual friend of my mom's. Told my mom where I was. 4 hours later, my mom comes to pick me up. So she sees the messages between me and Dan, and she instantly knows who I'm with. Then she begins to call their mutual friends from the convention, and one of them told my mother where I was. So they got in contact with a mutual friend of my mom's. Those friends knew my mom. They called my mom. My cell phone fell out of my backpack. So one night when
Reporters, I have a few legitimate questions for you guys, and if you want to reply to me, you can. If not, that's perfectly okay too. But I challenge you to answer some of these questions without just going with the narrative of, well, Gypsy said so. If you could show me evidence of these answers, that would be wonderful. Here's question number one.
Yeah.
First question is, if she was truly abused to the point that everyone claims that she is, I think she claims that she is, how come she didn't mention 1 ounce of it to the investigators, to Christy and Ron on jail phone calls, to anyone on the jail phone calls? How come she absolutely said nothing?
Amen, right?
Until her lawyers met up with her and were just
Exactly.
like, we need to think up a certain defense. In fact, Mike Stanfield himself says if this goes to trial, she's going to be put away for life. So if the Shabuse narrative was true, wouldn't that be a good defense?
Yeah.
Seems a little suspicious. But if you can clear that up for me, that'd be great. Next question. If the medical Shabuse narrative is to be true, and this is about the feeding tube part of it, then why does her medical records reflect that she spent an entire month in an eating clinic before she was given the feeding tube? That's when they administered it. It's in her medical records.
Right.
So again, how is that medical Shabuse when they thoroughly tested her over an entire month of her eating habits and did a whole battery of tests on her, due to her microdeletion, and everyone's still claiming this was some kind of medical
They didn't even know at that time
Can someone
that it
explain
was
that
the
to me?
microdeletion.
Probably not, but I challenge you anyway. All of her supporters claim, including Gypsy herself, that, why couldn't you just leave? Oh, and they say, well, she tried. It's like, okay, first of all, she tried one time, and her mom didn't just go out into the night with a flashlight in the middle of nowhere and just happened to find her. No. She went to Dan Glidewell's house, and his own friends phoned up Dee Dee and said, hey, this girl's kind of shady. She might be a minor. Come get your girl. Not to mention, this was a man that was significantly older by decades and was married. So I think the meriting on why the friends called
He had a
is pretty on
girlfriend,
point.
though.
So if you can explain how that is Dee Dee bringing her back and just forcing her back instead of, Dan Glidewell saying, hey, his friends saying, hey, come get your girl. How does that equate to her mom just came and forced her back? No, his friend said, come get your girl. Also, let's just play that out for me. Let's say that Dee Dee did come and just grab her in the middle of the night, was just able to find her without any idea where she was. Okay, she tried to leave one time. Why not try again? How come it goes from that to schmurder? You're not going to try anything else? How come she couldn't have called Christy and Rod? From everything we've heard, she's always been welcome there. She could have called them. I don't get it.
Right,
Can someone explain that to me? Could maybe Christy herself explain that to me? That'd be a good question to answer.
She could, but she couldn't ask for help, but she could definitely send her dad nasty pictures of herself, right? Isn't that something? I'm just saying.
According to her, her mother told her that she has a sugar allergy. If that was the case, why did she tell investigators during the interrogation that when she was at Magic Kingdom, she was dancing down the main street of Magic Kingdom on a sugar high? Can you please explain that to me? According to her supporters, Dee Dee was HELL bent on keeping her at the house for whatever reason, and she couldn't escape that. Then why was Dee Dee, some of the last forensic evidence that we have of her and of her Google searches, say that she was researching places for shelters and places for young women to go as an alternative to living with it. Why would she be seeking out places for Gypsy to go if she really wanted her to stay there? So
Exactly. She didn't. She wanted her to go.
It kind of looks
She
like
was
the
tired
opposite
of her
is true,
shit.
but I'm willing to
Dee
hear
Dee
you
was
out.
sick. Dee Dee was dealing with so much herself. She didn't want to deal with Gypsy Rose's bullshit anymore. You know, and she was trying to do the right thing and find her a proper place to go instead of just kicking her out on the street, which to me says more about how Dee Dee is a wonderful person and Gypsy Rose Blanchard is a sick, dysfunctional, evil bitch.
When Gypsy went on Dr. Phil and had Dr. Phil interview her from prison, she said she had 20, 30, 40 plus surgeries and unnecessary medical treatments. But why is it on her medical records that only 4 are listed and they're all merited?
Exactly.
Can someone
And
answer that?
another thing is you can't just get Medicaid to do whatever you want because you sat there and persuaded them to. The doctors have to get these surgeries approved, and they can't just tell the Medicaid that, oh, well, the mom seemed really convincing and we thought we would go with it. No, they're not going to go with that. They want real hard proof that she needs this surgery for a certain reason, or they're not going to approve it. I've had to deal with it before for major surgeries.
If Gypsy was supposedly forced to stay in the wheelchair, then why would her mom allow her to, once again, I'll bring this back, dance down Main Street of Magic Kingdom on a sugar high? Why would Dee Dee allow something like that, if that was true? Please explain that to me. Gypsy and Nick, easily on the night of the crime, could have hopped in a cab and went right to Wisconsin. Dee Dee was not exactly in good physical shape at this time. She was in the throes of diabetes pretty bad, almost to the point of being bedbound. So explain to me what she could have done at that time had they left in a
Nothing.
cab.
She wouldn't have been
What
able
was
to
gonna
do
happen?
anything. Gypsy
Gypsy
Rose
was a
had
full-blown
plenty of
adult at that time.
opportunities to leave.
She was signing her own medical records at that time with her own signature. So it's not like she had power of attorney or something like that. But you know what? I have something else to say about that. Let's pretend for just 1 second. I'm going to play devil's advocate for Gypsy here. And you're right. She told Dee Dee, and Dee Dee told everybody, including the police, that my child has the mental capacity of a 6-year-old, and not to listen to a word she says, even though she has no power of attorney over her, and she's a full. Blown adult at adult age. Let's pretend that's true for a second. Why wouldn't Gypsy wheel herself down to the police station by herself with a friend, with Nick? Whoever, and let's say there's this preconceived notion that the police that think that she's got the mindset of a 6-year-old. What would they think if Gypsy were to go there in her chair and jump out of that chair and start running circles around it and can articulate herself perfectly well, saying, hey, my mom's been making me sit in this wheelchair for years. She's been making me participate in all these cons regarding all these medical problems. My mom's been making me do this for years. I need help. Do you really think if she articulated herself like that, and we've heard her articulate herself perfectly fine in interviews, videos, almost everything she says now is very well articulated. I don't think that they would have sat there and been like, yep, you're totally got the mental capacity of a 6-year-old. How come she couldn't just gone to the police station, hopped out of the wheelchair and say, look, I can walk, and my mom's been making me stay in this wheelchair. I want to get away from her. She's dangerous. How come she couldn't have done that? How come once again, had to go to Schmurder and no other options. That's an option. GYPSY claims in her own prison interviews, and especially after when she got out, that she never had a cell phone before, and this is her first cell phone. Well, how did she correspond with all those texts between her and Nick over 2 years? She did that from a cell phone and a laptop. So explain to me how GYPSY, all of a sudden, in that time period, after prison, during prison, whatever, that she's never had a cell phone before. Can you explain that? Because we have copies of all the text messages that came from a cell phone. GYPSY says in her own documentary that when she unloaded a BB pew pew on her, that she 100% thought it was real and said, thank God it wasn't real. That's when she realized it wasn't real. Then she goes on Kale Lowry's podcast after she gets out of prison and says, I knew it wasn't real the entire time. Well, she can't have it both ways. So which one's the truth? I'm sure I got about a million other questions. And if any people that watch me have questions of their own, for GYPSY, I'm going to make a part 2 to this. But as far as her supporters go, please come to my comment section and give me some of the answers to this. And I'm not just going to go with just, well, GYPSY said this, GYPSY said that. She's admitted that she could tell lies without a conscience. So you can't just cherry pick what to believe and not to believe. I need to see some corresponding evidence to things like GYPSY Rose says, because again, when it comes to pathological liars, you can't take them at their word. Other examples, Jodi Arias, Casey Anthony, a lot of these other murderers, where the only time you can believe them is if there's some kind of corroboration or some kind of evidence. I'm not going to just say, well, GYPSY said this or GYPSY said that. If you want to look at her contradictions, I just started a series not that long ago, thanks to Disco Superfly on YouTube, who lent me some of the content on her contradictions and contradictions. Like, for example, okay, GYPSY said she didn't know what her real age was. This is not going to be another question for you guys, but then supporters. How come she did not know her own age for years and didn't have any candles on her birthday cake, even though I give a couple examples of knowing what her birthday is? And she said she thought it was for other people, even though it says birthday girl right on her, like, right there on her chest or side of her chest with a button on it that says birthday girl, her holding up $100 bill. Yeah, I think that indicates who the birthday's for. But how come she didn't know her age all this time, but she knew exactly what age that she could play with Barbies? It changed a couple times, but she was so particular and so exact on when her age was and when she could play with Barbie dolls. So tell me how those two things correlate. Tell me how she can have that both ways. She doesn't know her age, but she knows exactly when and what exactly age she was when she was allowed to play with Barbie dolls, even though she said she didn't know her real age until into her teenage years or something like that. I'd like some answers to these questions if you can answer them. Okay, GYPSY supporters, I have a few legitimate questions for you guys, and if you want to reply to me, you can.
Wound up seeing a Dr. Bernardo Flasterstein. A lot comes tumbling down at this point, right? Because he has you stand up, right? Where was your mother at this point?
She was inside the room.
With you?
With me. He kind of held my hands, and I put some weight on my legs. And I think that gave him the inkling that this girl could walk.
Yes,
this girl is not paralyzed. She has muscle strength.
And how did your mother react to that?
She did not like him whatsoever. She was like, I'm not even bringing you guys to see him. I'm switching doctors. I never remember him asking me to stand.
Oh.
And then a few months ago, I was laying in bed, and I feel like I have two memories. And I don't know which one's real, but I think I maybe do recall him asking me to stand up. But now I'm kind of like, oh my God, maybe he did.
Oh my gosh.
I think I did stand up. And he told my mom, point blank, there's no reason why she can't walk. She can walk, she's fine. And my mom left. We never went to see that doctor again.
She has no memory of her standing up, but honey, she remembers that damn doctor was like, see, she can walk. Nothing wrong with her legs here, honey. She remembers all that. It just now dawned on her that, oh yeah, she stood up. That's right, I did. No, girl, it wasn't no just sudden memory. Oh, I think you've just been lying and gassing it up and changing details wherever you see fit. You haven't been able to keep up with them. And I bet money before she did that damn little podcast right here, she went and she watched her documentaries and she watched her interviews. She knew what she could and couldn't say. She don't have that Mike Stanfield around no more to scan her questions and be her manager. That's just what I think, honey. That's just my opinion for entertainment purposes and whatnot. But it is not all edge. I'll see it right here. She's just been saying shit.
Wound up seeing Dr. Bernardo.
Looks like the cycle is cycling, and GYPSY Rose Blanchard yet again deactivated her TikTok account. Or she's forced off, if you know what I mean. She doesn't know. She wants to keep it, deactivate it, activate it. It's the same thing as last year. She deactivated about, I don't know, 20 times. And if you ask me, the cycle is cycling with GYPSY Rose. She cannot help but cycle it, because she's doing the same thing she did before she brutally unalived her own mother. And in my opinion, it's only a matter of time before she strikes again. Looks like the cycle is cycling, and GYPSY Rose Blanchard, yeah.
Because she'll be back just in time to get that monetization. You know what I'm saying? She'll be back just in time for it. And now I'm going to try to do a poll. So give me 1 second here. Because I'm stupid. I got to figure it out. Wait, maybe it's this. Okay. I don't want music. Oh, there's no way to pick a poll? Son of a bitch. Maybe people. No. Oh, man. All right, so you guys can hear me now. Sorry about that. I didn't come over and look till now, and I just realized I was muted because I unplugged my mic and plugged it back in because it wasn't working right, or the sound wasn't coming through right. This is a very awesome microphone, I might add. I love it so much. It's by support and the love and everything like that, because it's because of you guys that I am able to put money back into my channel and keep on doing better and better as time goes on, you know? If you were with me when it started, you can totally tell how the content has changed and how it's so much better now than what it used to be. because I was so nervous when I first started. Oh my God, I sounded like such a moron. Such a moron, you guys. God.
And again, deactivated her.
Wound up seeing a doctor.
Took her own teeth pulled. You can look that document up. It's posted everywhere. I'm pretty sure I posted it. She gonna sit here and tell me
Jacob. How
her
you
grill
doing,
wasn't
honey?
fucked up. She wasn't having some major fucking issues going on here. Not to mention her microdeletion, 1Q2 1.1, fucking affects the teeth.
Yeah.
I'm sure it wasn't helping that she was drinking sugar ass Pedialyte out of
honey.
a bottle when she was young as hell, while she was still living by Rod and Christy. If you read her medical records, which are posted everywhere, doctors documented that they did all kinds of like feeding studies with Gypsy, and their conclusion was Gypsy was not eating enough to sustain herself. I did this months ago, where they did feeding studies with Gypsy, even documented her weight as that of a 7-year-old. 2004. This has her real birthday, 1991, by the way. She would have been 13. You realize that? She loves to say her mama shaved her head, but her hair has always been short since a young child. God knew Gypsy had a microdeletion. She probably had cancer, the same cancer that is linked to her microdeletion, lymphoblastic leukemia. Gypsy talks about her having this microdeletion in her book. She found the microdeletion in her medical records, gets on the internet and starts searching. And what did she discover? Something staggering. Microdeletion is known to cause developmental delay, intellectual disability, physical abnormalities, and neurological and psychiatric problems. What a coincidence. Every illness my mother claimed I had fallen beneath all of these umbrellas. Acts like she didn't know she had it, but she texts her neighbor. This is the text they leaked to the news when the murder happened. And here's the whole text where she tells her neighbor about this microdeletion, how it caused all her health issues. GYPSY Rose herself was accused of malingering in her medical record. Lying on her sensation test, done on her legs, lying on her fucking hearing test. And doctor said GYPSY was malingering. One doctor said that Dee Dee possibly had Munchausen by proxy, or
that's
there was
craziness.
Some other underlying etiology causing Gypsy symptoms, which there was. The microdeletion that wasn't found till 2011.
There's guess
that
who.
specific microdeletion wasn't even found and documented by doctors until 2008. Like the first case wasn't documented till 2008. There was literally no blueprint for Dee to go off of, man. What y'all talking about? What's she gonna Google to make them symptoms match a microdeletion that she didn't know Gypsy had until 2011? Gypsy was having symptoms from birth. The fuck? Gypsy's own grandfather in Gypsy's documentary said as a baby, when Gypsy and Dee Dee were living with them, Gypsy had to be on a monitor that kept up with her breathing. Said the monitor would go off when Gypsy would stop breathing, and they would have to get up in the middle of the night and go wake her up to make her breathe again. How the fuck was Dee Dee doing that while she was asleep? How was Gypsy faking that? It wasn't fake. Gypsy was fucking sick as a kid. Lastly, people with 1Q2 1.1 symptoms can lessen over time with age. Look at all the ones that improve. Like children with mild conditions who receive appropriate treatment develop adaptive behaviors as they get older may cope well. Lastly, GYPSY Rose was lying to her mother about her symptoms. She told Nick about it. Y'all can read all this. She straight up told Nick she lied to her mom and didn't let her mom know she got feelings back in her legs after she had a seizure during surgery. She had a history of lymphoblastic leukemia, a history. They never said she still had it. She had a history of it. Yeah, I think Dee Dee and GYPSY were this crazy dynamic duo. I don't know that Dee Dee knew all the things GYPSY Rose was lying about. Hey, this ain't alleged. This stuff came from that girl's medical record. However, some of this is my opinion for entertainment purposes only, and the rest, I got that shit from her. GYPSY Rose signed to get her own teeth pulled. You can look that document up. It's posted.
And beneficial to talk a little bit about fictitious disorder and fictitious disorder by proxy.
I believe that's what GYPSY Rose has right here is fictitious disorder as well, and she posted on her
the previous name. Now it's called fictitious disorder in the DSM-5. It's the same thing, just goes by a different name. Fictitious disorder by proxy is now referred to as fictitious disorder imposed on another. And of course, I'm not in a place to diagnose, but since she's so open about it and using that as the diagnosis, I'm just going to go off of that. This disorder is characterized by the falsification of psychological or physical symptoms by using deception or imposing actual injury to replicate or bring about symptoms of a disorder, disease, whatever the person is trying to lie about. Fictitious disorder is when they do it on themselves. Impose on another means that they are making another person look sick. They present this person, usually a lot of times it's a child, as ill, injured, needing hospitalization and doctor's treatments, medication, all these things. This type of deception occurs in situations where there is not an obvious reward. They're not getting money, they're not getting tangible reward, except for the pleasure that's associated with deceiving other people successfully and a lot of attention. This is actually the fictitious disorder Wikipedia page. I wrote the etiology part for a school assignment. I can promise you this part of Wikipedia is research-based. I use reliable sources, so check it out if you would like. There are a lot of reasons as to why this might develop with someone. A big part of it is that they might enjoy all of the attention. They might be looking for feelings of control or accomplishment associated with deceiving other people. Attention from medical professionals might replace caregiver attention that the person didn't receive as a child. People with this disorder typically have gone through a lot of abuse when they were younger, which causes low self-esteem and
Hi,
a
Sizzle.
really fragile self-identity. Faking medical symptoms
Sizzle's here.
might
It's about to
provide
sizzle
a
in
sense
this
of autonomy.
motherfucker.
A lot of early exposure to healthcare can
yeah.
also prompt
Hi,
the
babe. How
onset
you
of
doing,
this
my love?
disorder. The best way to describe this disorder and the maintenance of it is a behavioral addiction. It's kind of like when you think of
just going live before I have to go to my mom's
it's kind of
house.
like a habit and an addiction, and they can't stop because they've been doing it so often.
Say it too loud, or
so long.
or Bubba goes
In light of
crazy.
GYPSY
He
Rose's
loves going to
birthday
Grandma's
present,
house.
I thought that it would be interesting and beneficial to talk a little bit
Yes,
about
Sizzle, me.
fictitious
Guess who?
disorder.
Guess who's
And fictitious disorder
been
by
here
proxy.
watching with
This
us
is
today?
what she
Because we're covering
from
the
with her mother.
dipshit today.
Munchausen syndrome, which is the
Are you
previous
tired,
name.
honey?
Now it's called fictitious disorder.
You know what? I am so sleepy. I just took my medicine and it's newer. So I still get kind of sleepy from it. So you have to excuse me if you see my eyes like rolling back. It's because I'm so tired. But I wanted to go live because I enjoy doing my makeup and talking with you guys every morning. Or well, it's the afternoon now, ain't it? Oh no, not yet. I must have woke up really early. I think I did. I didn't look at the clock though to see what time it was, but it must have been early if it's only 11 something now and I'm already this far into my day. I mean, I'm on top of it today. Look at this, bitch. Oh yeah. No, you didn't miss anything juicy or nothing, honey. 9:25 there. Oh, okay. Well, you are behind us by 2 hours then because it's 11:25 here. So, but it's still not afternoon yet, so that's great. And it's morning for you. Did you just get up, Sizzle? Or no, you said you're at work. Oh, I'm so sorry you're at work tired, honey.
DSM-5. It's the same thing, just goes by a different name. Fictitious.
I love her. The T page with T is my girl. Say prayers for her though. She's been going through some medical issues at this time. I've been praying for her. I think she's doing a lot better. But just in case, let's pray for our
Not too
girl.
long ago, all the different hairstyles that she has had since the beginning of 2026. I'm going to show you that, and then I'm going to go into a little bit of something else I want to talk about. The video that she posted went along with a song that said something like January as this hairstyle, February with this one, March, April, and then May and June, which is now. And then she captioned it, hair growth journey over the last 6 months. Now, everyone that is not educated in this case loves to point out that Dee Dee had Munchausen by proxy, but nobody ever talks about how GYPSY potentially was the one with factitious disorder. Now, factitious disorder and cutting GYPSY's hair as a trauma victim that was forced to shave her head over and over back in the day with her mother also points to personality-related issues, obviously. But then it goes to factitious behavior. And factitious behavior is a mental health condition in which a person deliberately exaggerates, makes up, or causes symptoms of illness, injury, or trauma so that they can be seen as sick, injured, or a victim.
The motivation is usually psychological, such as wanting attention, sympathy, care, or a particular identity, rather than obvious external rewards like money or avoiding legal trouble. Well, we all do know Gypsy loves money, and she definitely got into some legal trouble, but that doesn't have anything to do with factitious disorder. That's because she unalived her mother. But anyway, let's go back to the screen here. Now, why did I even show y'all this screen? What does it have to do with Gypsy cutting her hair? Well, sometimes when I'm bored, I get on ChatGPT and just ask it random questions so that I can learn things. And I already knew about factitious disorder, but I want to point this out to you in case you don't know, because this is what came up whenever I pointed out the fact that Gypsy kept cutting her hair over and over. And it was identity disturbances, attention seeking, personality related issues, and factitious behavior. And right there by factitious behavior, it says, in rare cases, a person may exaggerate or fabricate experiences to gain sympathy or attention through. This cannot be determined from a hairstyle alone. Okay, well, not alone, but Gypsy almost checks off every single one of these other things, right? So again, was it Dee Dee with Munchausen by proxy, wanting all the attention and money or whatever? Or was it Gypsy that had factitious disorder, that was lying to her mother about having feeling in her legs, and then telling Nicholas Godejohn that she has been lying to her mom because she was afraid that she would lose her mother's love and lose friends? Doesn't that make sense? It makes sense to me. Anyways, what do y'all think? Gypsy Rose posted on her YT page not too long ago all the different hairstyles that she has had since the beginning of 2026. I'm going to show you that, and then I'm going to go into a little bit of something else I want to talk about.
In my opinion, when Gypsy, for instance, in this interview, Gypsy Rose says the causes of Munchausen by proxy is craving more attention and feeling the lack of love. But to me, it sounds like she's talking about herself instead of her mother.
Why do you think that she did all that to you? Why did she need that attention?
That is exactly what Munchausen by proxy is. It is a crave for attention, mostly because the individual feels a lack of love or importance. And so they try to, by proxy,
what'd you do? Read the AI overview before you got on here?
Child.
I think, in my opinion, Dee Dee did not have Munchausen by proxy, and Gypsy had Munchausen. Let's not forget that Dee Dee thought that Gypsy could not walk and needed the wheelchair up until she ran off to her lover Dan's house. So it makes me really think, is Gypsy Rose really talking about herself, that she just wanted attention and she was craving more love, so she pretended that she couldn't walk and acted mentally delayed? I don't know, but to me, it could be a possibility. Let me know what you think. In my opinion, when Gypsy Rose...
It's creepy how she can public speak with such confidence with so many lies. I know, right? And sit there and act like, hey, this is the truth, with such a straight face, too. And then it's hard for these people to even call her out because of that. But I think that we have to have somebody that's going to look past that look that she gives after she says a statement or whatever, because this is getting to be too much. I can't. It's so disgusting to me. I just don't understand our society letting her out to be amongst other people after what she did to her mother. They think it's just, she hired this young boy to kill for her. And it's like, okay, in a way that's true time, that's disgusting. You know what I mean? Anyway.
Gypsy Rose has ever said was she would...
They made me lose my train of fucking thought. I hate that. Whoa, I'm tired. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get ready to go to my mom's. Oh, thank God Baby Tates is driving. Because it's this medication. Because I can't take the gabapentin anymore. So they put me on the Lyrica. And it makes me so tired. Do you guys ever have that? Oh. Hi, Bunny Kimmy. Every bad thing she blames on Dee. Really, I think it's her I truly believe she abused her mom. I do too. In fact, there's bruises on her hands. You know, Dee Dee's arms, like her wrists area, in the crime scene photos. And that's pretty strange. Why is she all bruised up like that? What did they do to her beforehand? You know what I mean? It's just, and are those bruises post-mortem or unaliving? Was she alive when those bruises came about? You know, I don't know. But I know they're there, and that should have been figured out where they came from at least. Even if the trial didn't go through, I believe that these officers should be made to look at the actual proof from the case and then listen back to her interrogations and try to figure this out. That's what detectives are for, right? But those detectives at that precinct don't seem like they were very enthusiastic about doing anything. You know what I mean? They probably just sit there or whatever. I don't know. Okay, I read them all. I just want to make sure I got all the comments. Oh, wait, we gotta go back. We gotta go down. Wait, no, we don't. We didn't see this one.
Never hit her mother back.
What? How severe?
Speaking of abusing her mom.
Did you ever try to hit back? Never.
It's funny because let's not forget when Gypsy Rose tried to off her mom with a pew pew when she wanted to run off to some old dude named Dan, and she got in her way. So to me, it sounds like
Mommy
Gypsy
didn't want to
would
let her.
not only hit back, but she would also shoot her down with a pew pew. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think that's a little bit weird that Gypsy Rose says she would never hit her mother, but also it told everybody that she tried to off her when she wanted to go run off to some old dude? Let me know what you guys think, because this is not making sense to me. One of the craziest things Gypsy Rose has ever said was she would never hit her mother back.
What? How severe it was? I did. Did you ever try to hit back? Never.
It's funny because let's not forget when Gypsy Rose tried to off her mom with a pew pew when she wanted to run off to some old dude named Dan, and she got in her way. So to me, it sounds like Gypsy would not only hit back, but she would also shoot her down with a pew pew. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think that's a little bit weird that Gypsy Rose says she would never hit her mother, but also it told everybody that she tried to off her when she wanted to go run off to some old dude? Let me know what you guys think, because this is not making sense to me. One of the craziest things Gypsy Rose has ever said was she would never hit her mother back.
What? How severe it was? I did. Did you ever try to hit back? Never.
It's funny because let's not forget when Gypsy Rose tried to off her mom with a pew pew when she wanted to run off to some old dude named Dan, and she got.
You guys seem to like that Gypsy Rose video. I did pretty.
Gypsy Manson herself.
My mom was supposed to marry someone else to benefit the company of a shrimping boat, because my mom worked on a shrimping boat with her dad, and it's just a tradition that a lot of teenagers pass on to their kids. Instead, she met my dad, and anyway, she said that the guy she was supposed to marry's son and her daughter, me, was supposed to get married and make a union to benefit a company to stronger the shrimping business, make it more profitable. But I moved away, so I'm like, no arranged marriage. My mom was supposed to marry someone else to benefit the company of a shrimping boat, because my mom worked on a shrimping boat with her dad, and it's just a.
Welcome to another edition of Gypsy Rose Blanchard completely debunks herself with her own words, and in this one, we're going to be talking about Gypsy's teeth. My apologies for this visual.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard has deactivated her whole
whole TikTok account again. I mean, GYPSY Rose Blanchard. How dare
We're
you?
looking for a
GYPSY Rose
good one.
Blanchard
We're
is
looking for a
about to
good one.
vote to reaccept her daughter
Otherwise,
Tiffany to
we're gonna
Disney,
check on the
and she
quirky
can't
little
vote
Rose
because
if I don't find anything.
allegedly.
If anyone felt disrespected or like I was being rude whenever I had my last battle, I had a bad migraine. Really can't bring myself.
God, I'm tired. You know what, guys? I think I'm gonna get off here and probably go and get some sleep. Like take a little nap. Wow, there's Quirky right there. Take a little nap before I go to my mom's house. I do hope you guys have a wonderful day, night, morning, afternoon, whatever time it is for you. I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching all the things. I appreciate you in every kind of way. Thank you so much.